let's take a quick look at these peaches again. It is late April, kind of the reckoning day, coming to be reckoning time for compared to last year when most of the fruit dropped in early May. There's a chicken in there, that's that noise. But when all this fruit dropped in early May, a whole bunch of peaches from plum, Curculio, and brown rot, just kind of checking out the tree, seeing what's gonna happen, seeing if there's any indication that any of those things are gonna get me again. And here's one that it looked a lot worse last week, so it looked like it was a little dent in it, and it healed up. I didn't know what that dent was from. Didn't seem like a plum Curculio bite. This is my Belle of Georgia tree, by the way. Belle of Georgia peach, doing good. You can see that cluster right there. A lot of peaches right there. No sign as of yet of any kind of problems, especially compared to last year. There's no leaf curl. Knock on wood, fingers crossed that stays correct. But yeah, there's no leaf curl or anything on this tree. So Belle of Georgia's good. Here is the contender peach. Loaded up, checking it out, seeing if it has any damage that I may see. Now you see that red blush? I've been thinking like that was brown rot, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the blush that peaches get. So I need to not start taking peaches off based on just a color. I need to make sure it's brown rot before I start stripping the tree. But this is one of my contender peaches right here. As you can see, I'm just gonna chill right here right now. And look how many peaches are on this tree. And they're getting big. Now I thinned the tree. Obviously I didn't thin it enough. I thought the freeze was gonna thin it hard and that I wouldn't have to do any thinning, but the contender peach just laughs at those type of freezes, I guess. Cause it was past bloom. It was in shuck split or petal drop when that freeze came, and supposedly they start to be affected at 28 degrees and it reached 26. And I guess not for a long time, but long enough to where I would believe that there would be a problem. And for the contender, there's no problem. Obviously for the Belle of Georgia, there was no problem either. Only thing there was really a problem for was the spicy nectar plum. That it destroyed that spicy nectar plum. I need to do some more thinning on this, by the way. But yeah, it destroyed that spicy nectar plum. Look at that. Look at those clusters right there. This is, and no sign. I've seen one sign of plum Curculio. I'm gonna go and see if I can find it. It's on my redhaven tree. Look at that. It's beautiful. Still, we're not out of the clear. Remember last year, early May, when brown rot and plum Curculio destroyed everything, and so many peaches fell off the tree. So we still got another week before we can kind of start comparing that. But yeah, about that spicy nectar plum, does terrible when there's a snap freeze. So I just don't think it's gonna do well in my area in zone AA because of that, because of those snap freezes that happen pretty much every year. And that's why the contender is such a great peach for this area. Honestly, contender is a great peach for most areas, anywhere here to going a little bit more up north. It'll probably be better. But yeah, let's go check out this redhaven real quick while I have y'all. See if we can find this plum Curculio bite that I believe is a plum Curculio bite. So here's the redhaven tree, my biggest peach tree, but also still to this day doesn't hold the most peaches. It just super big, but I mean there's plenty of peaches on here as you can see, but it just doesn't have as many as my Belle of Georgia for its size. And my contenders, my two contenders. That's dead. Where is that bite that I saw earlier? It was somewhere around here. It looked like a plum Curculio bite. I left it on the tree just to kind of see, but I don't know where that specific peach is. Somewhere around here, and I remember looking at the other ones that was close to it and they didn't get hit. Oh, here we go, here we go. Look right there. Look right there. You see that little dent? I believe that's plum Curculio. I probably should just pick it off. I'm gonna pick it off because, I mean, we got plenty of peaches. I need to know. This is for science. I picked it off. See that? That seems like a plum Curculio bite right there. It doesn't seem like it went through though. I don't know. It might have went through. So with that said, that means I need to add another coat. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's still some 7 on this. Oh, let me check something. I think I see something else. I think I spotted something else. Here's some damage on this. I'm pulling it off. I don't think this is plum Curculio at all. I don't know what this did this. I'm gonna dissect it for sure. But this little dent right here, to me, seems like plum Curculio. So I need to hit this with some more 7 and another coat of surround to make sure that we don't have no infestation starting. Everything else looks good. I don't see it like usually you see it. You're gonna see it in multiple locations, like on the same branch. If the plum Curculio is really hitting like that, like it did last year, over one night you'd see a whole bunch of these bite marks on a whole bunch of peaches. So maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking. Let's go check out the last contender peach real quick. Since I already showed y'all contender, I'm not gonna stay up here long. But yeah, the cluster right there. This one, for some reason, I think the freeze got all of the lower branches off this tree. There's a few on the lower branches, but most of everything is up on the top branches. So I think that's kind of how it works. It's the ones closest to the ground get hit the hardest. Maybe I'll pull that off. I don't know. Usually the ones that are smaller don't really need. They're not gonna do the best. But yeah, like I said, the upper branches, it just seems to have gotten a lot less cold damage from that cold snap that we got. But yeah, right here, whole bunch of peaches. Let me step back to this side, a whole bunch of peaches up here, but the middle is blank. So that's it. Peaches so far so good. Looks very good in my opinion compared to last year when I pretty much did a whole bunch of ineffective spraying. Let's get this one off but I did a whole bunch of ineffective spraying. Had to do a lot of research to figure out copper fungicide is not going to do anything for brown rot in Georgia, or at least in my specific area. It might do something for you if you live in a more dry area or just a different area to me. But for me, copper fungicide does not work for brown rot. And also, spinosad doesn't work for plum Curculio. So far, it seems like that is correct, because the 7 has pretty much kept them off this tree so far. And honestly, they're almost to the point where the plum Curculio doesn't even want them because they get so big. I think my research showed that, by the way, it's from growingfruit.org or .net.com. I don't know. The fruit forum. You can learn a whole bunch of stuff off of that from people that have done this for years and years. So that's kind of where I learned all of this stuff from. But yeah, what I learned as far as the plum Curculio is they most like to lay their eggs when the fruit is a little smaller. With basically when the, I guess, the stone in the middle of the fruit is still soft. So the seed, you know how a peach has a seed in the middle? When it starts off its life, it's like really, it's soft when it's a small little fruitlet. But then it gets older and it develops that hard stone seed in the middle. And that's kind of an indication of when the plum Curculio are less likely to attack your fruit when they get that big. I don't think we're that big yet, but I know as for brown rot, they don't care. Brown rot don't care about anything. The only thing brown rot cares is that there's a peach on the tree and it's gonna attack at any given time. So I really can't let off on any sprays for that until after we harvest, or well, 2 weeks before harvest I think is the time. And then you lay off of it so you don't get those fungicides in your fruit when you eat it. This is beautiful though.